This baby became the single most powerful person in the kingdom, leading entire armies into war at just 6 years old. But how is that even possible? First off, he was born into an extremely powerful family, which drastically sped up his growth. But the real secret is, he used to be a legendary warrior who was brutally betrayed by his very own empire, and has now reincarnated into this body with every memory from his past life intact. He transformed into a demonic child who slaughters everyone on the battlefield, absorbing power to get even stronger and finally take revenge on the empire that betrayed him. But before all that, let's understand who he really was before this betrayal went down. The year was 2045, and the whole world was at war fighting against some seriously ugly monsters while everyone else was getting crushed by these beasts. Our protagonist Han Sung was wiping them out one by one with absolute ease. But just as he was about to finish off a massive monster, a magic circle suddenly appeared beneath him, teleporting him away from the battlefield and dropping him into a place where he was instantly chained up, confused about how he ended up in this strange location. He watches a bald old man approach to welcome him. Calling him the hero from another world, the old man makes him a straightforward offer, telling Han Sung that if he kills the demon king of this realm, he'll be allowed to return to his own world. Han Sung thinks it over, but realizing he has no choice, and he accepts the deal. So there he was, stuck in the empire of this bald geezer. He spent the next 3 years slaughtering monsters until the day finally came when he found and killed the demon king with the demon dead. He thought he was finally going home, but the old man approaches him with yet another mission. He says he needs to wipe out the rebels threatening the empire, and only then will he truly earn his freedom. Our MC is absolutely furious, but again, he has no choice but to agree, and sure enough, there he was, fighting against the rebel leader. Once again, he completes the mission by killing the rebel, fully believing he'd be free this time around. However, an Imperial soldier sneaks up behind him, throws a rope around his neck, and drives a sword right through his chest, dying on the ground. His final words are that he'll never forget this humiliation. Years went by, and he found himself reincarnated into a new family, looking at his new relatives. Instantly recognizes his father. He's Duke Jackson, the great dark magic necromancer. On that very day, he made a solemn vow that once he grows up and masters necromancy, and will slaughter every last one of the Imperials. 5 years have passed since the day he was born. He was already a young boy studying magic, but he lacked practical experience, and things got out of control. Because of that, his parents had to step in to help him control his power. Late that night, the boy decided it was time to sleep. The very next day was his birthday, but he felt a bit down because he wanted to be as strong as his father. While he was sitting on his throne, his mother approached him saying she had a gift for him. She introduced him to Lady Sepia, a master of water magic, and telling him that she would be his teacher from now on. Lady Sepia invited him for a walk so they could talk. During their walk, she asked for a demonstration of his magic. She taught him how to rotate mana around his heart, telling him not to worry, as mastering it could take months. But when he actually forms his magic circle, she is left completely in disbelief. Curious to see the true extent of his power, she asks him to try casting a real magic spell. He begins conjuring a magic circle which transforms into a sharp shard of ice, and he launches it straight at a nearby tree, blowing it completely to smithereens. The teacher is shocked by the boy's results because she never imagined he was already at this level. Later that day, Lady Sepia tells his father that she can no longer train him, claiming his talent is suited for a killer. Duke Jackson insists that she help him, but she warns that his path is far too dangerous and that not even she could keep it under control. Later that very same night, Han Sung was lying in his bed dwelling on the betrayal he suffered in his past life. Suddenly, his heart begins radiating intense mana, causing severe pain to shoot through his chest. Desperate for relief, he rushes out of his room and heads straight outside. Just when he felt he couldn't take it anymore, Lady Sepia arrives, shouting that he's going into a rampage, but tells him to stay calm because she's there to help. She places her hand firmly on his chest and drains all the out-of-control mana from within his body. She explains that this heart mana is a rare magical essence, but warns that it represents a very dangerous talent. As a gift, she hands him a book on necromancy, saying that maybe it's destiny that she needs to stick by his side from now on. A few days later, Lady Sepia was training Han Sung again, but this time she asked him to demonstrate his hunting skills. Spotting a rabbit nearby, he fires a crystal shard that hits the with deadly precision. leaving her thoroughly impressed by his level of power. She immediately challenges him to resurrect the rabbit using necromancy, and the boy pulls it off without breaking a sweat. Not only that, but he also encases the rabbit in a layer of ice armor, demonstrating his complete mastery over the magic. As a test, she attacks the animal with her own magic, proving that the durability of the rabbit's armor is top-notch. Impressed, she asks him what his goal is. Han Sung replies that he wants to master water magic as well. She gives a faint smile, tells him that what he's doing with water magic is very basic and that he needs to possess incredibly advanced knowledge. Furthermore, mastering 2 types of magic at his age is practically impossible. He looks right at her and says, "Challenge accepted." That night, he was determined to reach that level of power. He grabbed several books and began studying and training through the entire night until he mastered the other magic the next day. He met up with Lady Sepia again. She noticed he looked exhausted, but he had something to show her. He begins to conjure his magic on the rabbit, causing the ice around the rabbit to shatter into pieces, leaving her completely not stopping there. He then uses dark magic inside the rabbit, causing a massive implosion. She is left completely baffled, unable to grasp how he became a dual mage in just a single night. This attack style is totally new for the teacher, mind blown. The 2 explosions together have a massive range and the fragments fly out like ninja stars. This magic's designed to be deadly. Coming from someone who's lived on the battlefield forever, the teacher's getting super curious about the main character now. Right then, the boy's uncle pops in. Looks like Helmet just got back from another mission. He said he took down a few monsters, no biggie. The Black Cavalry's gotta clock in sometimes, right? With aura-charged spears, they're the Duke's main squad, and their captain's one of the 7 swordmasters on the whole continent. Dale asked his uncle if he remembers the promise to teach him sword skills. Helmet's like, "Of course, dude," and Dale's all, "Can't wait to see you soon." As they head out, Helmet suggests not chilling outside too long. Winter's no joke. Sophia calls Dale back. Time to hit the training grind again. That night, the teacher's gotta report what went down, saying the young master can already handle 2 powers. The Duke's a bit worried about that. Sophia gets why he's concerned. She's paid to teach the boy water magic, but as a mentor, she wants to teach him whatever he wants, no limits if that's what the boy wants. Helena just asks he masters water too. Sophia promises to keep it that way before leaving. She apologizes for breaking her promise to the Duke. Helena's secretly thrilled. Her kid's a prodigy, already a double mage. The Duke wants to jump on this chance, telling his wife Head to teach their son black magic that way. Head have the skills to be an awesome lord. The Duke thinks he can be a great teacher and wants to pass on his legacy because of his promise to her. The Duke's feeling awkward. Helena knows black magic's got a bad rap, so she wanted to dodge it, but trusting her husband, she asks him to teach the boy to be independent of others' opinions. After getting some twin hugs from his wife, the Duke's feeling pumped, ready to teach our hero the most hardcore techniques. The day of his first training is here, but the Duke's bummed. The boy's control is still pretty weak. Dale's thinking his teacher only taught him so much. He's taken to a special room in the castle underground. Since the Duke's the teacher now, he tells his son to go beyond the basics. Time to memorize the muscle structure of all living things. A bunch of books are in front of the boy now. He needs to dive into studying ASAP. After nailing the theory, it's time for the Hansen stuff. In front of him is a creature's body, a small goblin. His dad notices he's kinda impressed. With little practice, he can only make it move like a zombie, but with skill, he can turn it into a Death Knight that's a standard undead. And it's time to learn how to make it move. This is way harder than controlling a rabbit. More mana threads needed, plus the Boda stiffness right after death is a whole other challenge. Dale's stumped on what to do next. The Duke knows exactly what's up. Speeding up the death process stiffens the joints and movement. Time for the boy to watch and learn. The Duke starts showing his skills. This time, the creature's body starts changing. The ribs were for protecting organs. Now that it's dead, that's not needed anymore. Bones start sticking out of the creature's body. The Duke says it's key to understand the Boda structure and tweak it as needed. That's one of the basics of black magic. After this demo, our hero asks to be schooled in the ways of the Black Tower. His dad seems to dig this bold move. He says the truth always hangs out with death, and they need to learn something from this. the weight of their own life so they can also reach the truth. This made our boy flashback to the good old days, when he had to take lives and face those please don't moments, but our hero's sword was just too darn heavy. After reliving these memories, the boy was totally spaced out. His dad noticed he was acting kind of off, still stuck in memory lane. Dale said everything's chill. The hero's training is still on, and word's spreading like wildfire across the Empire since the Duke broke his promise. The Empire's gossip mill went nuts. Apparently the nobles are super bored. Now they're all about the hero's life. Dale's also getting the hang of swordplay. Only in a story would an 80-year-old train with a dude who's a continent-level boss. Dale almost got whacked by the wooden stick, also known as training swords. But his past life skills kicked in and he disarmed Helmet, who was totally shook by this. Either this guy was taking it easy, or he's got zero ego since he praised the hero's move. Dale, a bit sus, asked if his uncle let it slide on purpose. But he made it clear he didn't. In a real fight, he could have been toast. But our boy's still just 8, and his tiny hands are aching big time. Helmet's bummed the kid's a mage cause he's got mad sword skills. While wrapping up the boy's hands, he said no need for such hardcore training, and asked if there's a reason for it. Checking out his own hand, Dale said the reason's a no-brainer. It wouldn't be cool for the Duke's kid to rely on bodyguards. His uncle dug this answer, grinning big, saying he'd love a son like this kid. Helena crashed their training sesh, noticing they're having a blast. Dale asked why she's out in the cold, and Helena came just to see the action. She's also got news, asking if the boy remembers his birthday wish. And boom, he remembered. He asked for a that's Helena's news. The boy's now an older bro. Even though it's simple news, it brought real joy. After a whole pregnancy, the Duke's new kiddo finally arrived. Dale can barely believe she's gonna be his sis, cause she's super adorable. Helena asked if the hero wants to hold the baby. Ignoring the poor boy's shock, she plopped the newborn in his arms. Truth is, they're like twinsies, and in the hero's arms, she hasn't cried yet, which is kinda hilarious. His dad asked how he's feeling now. Dale said his sis is light as a feather, yet he feels a weight in his arms. Saxon said that's the weight of life, told his son to never forget this vibe. Now, it's time for more training. Cephia was already outside this time. It's real combat practice. A bit nervous, Dale asked if he can go all out, and his teacher said to use all his strength. Our boy started summoning a magic circle. Cephia's hyped to see this young growth. His first attack was blocked easily, not fast enough. Same with the second, a bit more fired up. Cephia told the hero not to hold back. Even so, our boy's still kinda hesitant. To pump him up, the teacher attacked this time. She told Dale to make a shield to protect himself. He barely managed to whip up a shield, and if he hadn't, it would have been a disaster. Cephia was super impressed, cause in no time her student made that ice armor. Then she told him to attack again. Dale placed his hands on the ground and started raising a massive ice wall. A little mist rose from this move. Cephia's trying to figure out the boy's game plan. That ice was boosted by mana, way tougher than regular ice. After getting close to the wall, Cephia started thinking about the defense spell's purpose. Maybe her student needs some time to recharge. Then she noticed something happening. Dale's using the ice explosion to shatter the whole wall, which is about to blow up in front of the teacher. Cephia finally got what was going down. His body was totally pierced by the ice knives. With a fresh burst of confidence, Dale knew his plan was a total win. He used that ice wall like a boss, turning it into a mega grenade. When the dust settled, he saw a body full of holes, like Swiss cheese. Dale almost freaked out, but then, the body started vanishing like magic. Cephia popped up behind the ice statue, totally chill and unharmed. It was wild for Dale, who didn't expect such a mind-blowing illusion. The teacher jumped in to hype up the shocked a newbie could impress her. Dale said he never meant to hurt her, and the teacher was cool with that. She felt super honored he trusted her enough to go all out. This made her even prouder, being a teacher and all, and she wanted to know how he cooked up that plan. Dale said it was all thanks to her class. After class, she had to chat with the Duke again. Saxon was curious about the tiny scratch on her face. Cephia said she got a bit sloppy during training, saying the kid's got skills. Thinking the classes are tough, Saxon said he owes her big time, and the teacher said teaching a genius is a gift. But the Duke had another favor to ask. The teacher was all ears for what he had to say. Monsters are creeping into the area. A small night squad could handle it, but the Duke saw it as a chance. He wanted to send his heir to take them down. The teacher said the kid's not ready for that yet. Saxon said he wants to send his son to the front lines, and protecting the land is a family duty. It's time for the heir to learn his future responsibilities. Sifia asked what the Duke wanted her to do, and he said he'd trust his artifact to our hero. He also wanted her to guide him until he could master its power. Artifacts are super powerful and need mana or life to work. The stronger the artifact, the more wild and risky it can get, sometimes even deadly. Outside, Saxon told our hero the family knows how to handle this power, and the future heir needs to gear up for the battles ahead. This news got our hero pumped. He missed the thrill of the fight. Saxon said the kid will join the next monster hunt. But before that, he's got some other stuff to learn. It's time for Dale to master the family's dark power. Getting introduced to the Demon King's artifacts they snagged there on a whole other level, and Dale could feel the mana buzzing from them. His dad said they're all super powerful and dangerous, and nothing should be touched without thinking. But the little dude had already vanished. Saxon was searching for his son, super worried. But our hero was already on the hunt for something epic. An artifact started chatting with him. It felt his thirst for revenge, the anger he carried. That's why it wanted to be picked, calling him a chicken for not choosing it. Dale realized his strong feelings were reacting with those artifacts. But none of them were enough. He needed something even more epic. Then he noticed something. He was being chased by a cloak. Only then did he realize it was a cloak of shadows. The Demon King used this artifact, making shadows come alive, turning him into a beast of an enemy. It's time for our hero to rock it too. That's when his dad found him. Right after that, the cloak seemed to warp the whole place, taking our hero to another dimension. It said it was starving. This wasn't just any shadow. The Demon King could whip up storms with it, move darkness like it was alive. To master this cloak, its user needs to make it totally obedient. Dale knew this wouldn't be a walk in the park. Saxon and the teacher watched the big dark sphere with the hero inside. As had been in there a while, Sophia started to worry. And so did Saxon. His son might lose his mind. Thinking of this, he decided to yank him out by force. That's when something blinded them, a super bright light. The darkness vanished and our hero was totally okay. Sophia wanted to double-check if this was for real while she's checking out the kid. Saxon's deep in thought. Super relieved his son came out okay. He's totally baffled how a kid can handle such a mega-powerful artifact. Dale saw his chance to hit up his dad with more questions. He's all about trying to master other artifacts too. This left the grown-ups. They're totally stressing out, but since our hero's a total prodigy, they let it slide. A few days later, during sword training, Helmet was shook to see the hero rocking the Cloak of Shadows. The kid's wearing the artifact with a huge grin. And his uncle knows mastering that artifact ain't easy. And he's worried about the kid, who's totally nailing it. It's wild. Dale guessed the artifact was lonely, making it easier. The cloak was drawn to him instantly, maybe wanting to be besties. Helmet said the kid's super kind, and right then, the hero stepped on the artifact's shadow, thanking his uncle for the props since it's a training sesh. He's got a request. He wants the session to be as real as it gets. Without a second thought, Helmet powered up, ready to impress his fave nephew. Facing such a swordmaster is totally next level for the hero. His uncle told him not to sweat it, head only use basic moves. No aura on the blade. The hero wasn't thrilled, since his uncle's going easy on him. The real goal in this duel is to master his artifact. Being able to control the shadow is key to making all sorts of weapons. This battle's a musto for the kid's growth. As he worked the shadows, he whipped up several blades. But the swordmaster's already on it, slicing through the attack like it's nothing. His raw power's insane, enough to shove the shadow away. Still, Helmet keeps hyping the kid's strength, and decided to go on the attack, charging at the hero fiercely. At that moment, Dale managed to trap his opponent using just shadows, making stakes pop up from the ground too. But this sneak attack still ain't enough. Dale tries to focus all his attacks on one spot, and once again his uncle shuts him down. As they got closer, the kid had to block a massive hit. Helmet was amazed his nephew pulled it off. That hit would snap a regular sword. Even so, the kid defended himself, thanks to the epic artifact he's using. Way more pumped, Helmet moves in for more blows. The knights watching were mind blown. None of them could trade so many hits with the captain even as a kid. Dale's already way more epic than all of them. After a few more days, the caravan's set to roll out at the monster's crib. Helen is not happy, thinking this is way too risky for her son. She's only thinking about what could go wrong. Even getting her worry, Dale said as he's the heir he needs to protect his fam, and this is a must-have experience. It's time for his mom to get that this is needed too. And so a middle-aged woman got convinced by an 8-year-old. Wishing our hero a safe trip already on his pony, Dale said he'd be back soon, all the troops are ready to roll. The Duke thought that was awesome. He asked his son to give the go-ahead for everyone to move out. Dale felt a bit awkward with that, but was soon reminded that soon, those knights would serve him. This is the first battle where he'll be the boss, super cool atop his pony. Dale started talking to the soldiers. These proud knights got a march for the honor of that house. And they're super hyped about the mission ahead. A squad of 250 dudes is marching. The enemies are like 1,000 raging orcs. They crossed the mountain and went down the river, dodging hunger and winter. The army also needs to cross that river, and there's one way. Sophia will whip up an ice bridge for all of them. Her being there makes the hero super happy. It's always nice to have some girl power. Showing off her mad skills, Sophia made the ice bridge in no time. Now the army can cross to the other side. The Duke and his crew started the journey. It was the hero's turn to cross it too. Sophia watches that 80-year-old with warmth in her eyes. She wasn't expecting to care so much about that student. After a few hours, the trap was set, and the archers were ready to light it up. Arrows flew towards the enemies, who definitely weren't expecting this kind of weather. The chaos took out a bunch of them, including one poor dude who took an arrow to the head but still looked ready to clock in for work. Hellman told the battalion to start moving forward. The knights charged on their horses. No helmets, just showing off their epic hair, totally ignoring the whole keep it short military rule. The captain asked what our hero thought of it all from above. The boy knew the hit would be massive on the enemies. That spear formation was gonna pierce through anything. He figured it'd be a total wipeout, and his dad said that was the power of their cavalry. Still, the captain warned the boy not to chill just yet, because what he was seeing was just the opening act of the battle. The creatures got into formation and started defending themselves too. The plan was working, but victory wasn't in the bag yet. They needed to regroup. Helmet sent a signal, a light in the sky, and his crew got it instantly. Time to bounce back. As they pulled away, the creatures were totally baffled. Thinking they were running, the monsters started chucking spears. One of the extras' horses got the worst of it. Our hero saw this poor guy was stuck. His dad felt bad. Losing a knight always sucks. As the comrade tried to get up, an orc rushed in to finish him off. Dale asked why they were just standing there watching. His uncle and dad stayed totally silent. Our boy couldn't reach in time to save that extra. He needed to nail the creature from afar. The orc skin was super tough. Our boy had to tweak his attack to be sharp and spot on. So he went with a cool trick like a real bullet. He fired the ice projectile at the creature, which couldn't dodge it. Helmet was blown away. The distance was wild, yet the boy nailed it. He soon saw the young man start to move away with his pony and asked what he was up to. But the Duke said to let the boy do his thing, because he knew that what happened was a totally fresh, magical move. A sign that the boy's inner world was almost complete. Dale, after moving away a bit, saw the enemies regrouping again. Now he had two big problems after falling off the horse. That knight was so freaked out he couldn't move. And the hero's magical move was too complex. Not great for quick fights. He had to think fast if he wanted to save that extra. The issue was, the move was still too big to tackle this. Dale thought of an even tinier bullet. Another orc was closing in on the fallen knight, ready to finish him. But another shot from the hero crushed the creature's skull. The young knight couldn't believe a kid saved him. Standing at a mighty 80 centimeters, Dale told the extra not to sweat it, because they don't leave swords behind on the battlefield. Seriously, this soldier is so useless. He still hasn't found the guts to stand up. And the creatures kept coming, so it was time for the hero to shine. He whipped out the shadow blade, slicing through enemies. Then he let the artifact gobble them up. One creature just became breakfast, while another was sliced for later. The last one that hadn't been attacked was totally freaked out, seeing only the bones of those who got eaten. Dale was shocked this last creature hadn't bolted yet, so he had to finish it with another ice bullet. After wrapping that up, he saw the soldier still on the ground, saying he couldn't move his legs. Time for the hero to flex his unusual strength for an 80-year-old carrying that soldier, full armor and all, like a damsel in distress. Now that the extra was saved, Dale could leave the rest to his uncle, who was already ordering the battalion to charge again. Still no helmets because they wanted to look cool. That night, the Duke was going over the day's mission, and he called his son for a chat, wanting to know why the young boy chose to charge ahead instead of staying safe because that was super reckless. Dale's totally confused about why he's getting chewed out. Honestly, our main dude can be a bit clueless sometimes, so the kid starts explaining, saying one day he's gonna be the boss of all those dudes. He's just doing his future job, living up to his title even though he digs this answer. The Duke says the kid's determination is kinda weak. And our main dude asks why the Duke just stood there, watching that night almost bite the dust. The Duke says attacks are non-stop in that area, and frontline soldiers don't swing their swords hoping for a rescue still. The kid thought he should have saved a loyal knight. But he got reminded that on the battlefield, survival's the name of the game. If they think they'll be saved from every slip-up, they might end up with false hopes. Those kinds of people usually don't make it. Soldiers gotta be ready so they don't end up in sticky situations like that. Dale gets that this makes a lot of sense, especially since he's a soldier. He shouldn't have forgotten that. But after the harsh truth, the Duke pats the kid on the shoulder, saying he showed mad courage, also telling him not to lose that fire. Now that the sun's up, it's time for everyone to head back to the castle. The tale of the prince who saved the soldier like a damsel spread like wildfire across the empire since everyone loves a good story. They spiced it up a bit, saying the kid took down 1,000 orcs. Our main dude's kinda embarrassed by this fame, but it ended up. When the kid hits the training field, all the soldiers bow to greet him, even though Dale's like, chill, that's not needed. But the captain, who's also his uncle, says he should be super proud of that, using the moment to hype up the troops, saying they should get stronger and more ready because of that kid. Dale's impressed by the extras' determination. Then a maid comes up to him. Guests from the Orhart house just rolled into town. The kid's thankful for the heads up, and his uncle also asks if they should bounce soon, though the main dude knows these guests are a big deal. Bardell, the dude with the divine sword, was a famous noble. He's from that fam, and got beat by our main dude. This went down during the Empire's unification. Dale noticed his uncle's face changed, since he was Bardell's student. Our boy realized this meetup might be a bit awkward now in the Duke's presence. Saxon noticed the kid trained again, and right then, the butler announced the guests had arrived. A woman in mourning walked in with a kid tagging along. The woman's name is Vanessa, and she introduced herself all fancy. The kid next to her is Charlotte, her daughter. Oh great. Another brat in the story. She didn't like seeing her mom bowing and asked why she does that for these people. Vanessa was upset by this, but the Duke let it slide, and asked the main dude to show the castle to the young guest. Our boy offered his hand to her, but Charlotte looked grossed out by that, slapping the kid's hand, telling him not to touch her. From the kid's face, this is the first time he's met someone so woke. The main dude's parents weren't fans of that either, totally embarrassed. Vanessa told her daughter to apologize already, but all the spoiled girl does is turn her back. Storming out of the hall, Vanessa apologized for her daughter's behavior, saying recent stuff's got the girl all emotional. Helena immediately asked what went down, finding out the new overseer of Vanessa's family's lands is Count Brandenburg, who's also known as the Sacred Knight of the Empire, a super infamous dude. He's all about creating the perfect soldier, and is already scouting candidates. Seriously, this weirdo wanted to marry the brat. What a wild story. Vanessa came to seek protection for her daughter, but as a fallen noble, she's got no power, and wants her daughter to be accepted as a maid there outside. Our main dude finally tracked down the snotty girl, and asked if she even knows where she's going. Charlotte said she doesn't care about that, but showed a bit of concern for the Infante, asking if his hand's okay. This news made her pretty happy. Whipping out her sword, she challenged our main dude to a duel. Dale, poor guy, couldn't even wrap his head around this actually happening. For this to go down, Dale said he needs a reason to fight her. Charlotte said she heard the rumors about the epic dude who saved a maiden soldier and took down a bunch of monsters. She's on a mission to take down this big shot in the Empire. Just to show she's got the chops, she wants everyone to know she can keep her fam safe from this dude, Brandenburg the Holy Knight. Our hero can't shake this guy from his memory, and hearing about him now is a shocker. Since they're after the same goal, Charlotte might team up with him, but she needs a wake-up call first. Our hero strolls over to some swords, grabs one, and tells Charlotte she's just a kid who's got a lot to learn. He tells her to give it all she's got. Charlotte's all pumped to try it out. She charges at him with all the power her 27-kilo self can manage, swinging her toy sword with the rage of a kid who's been up crying all night. But our hero's not even phased. Dale sees she's got some serious skills unlike mages. Knights use aura to power up their whole body. Still, Charlotte can't rattle our hero, and she keeps landing those precise hits. If this keeps up, the outcome's kinda obvious. When Charlotte was born, her dad was already just a legend, but her mom told her loads of stories about him. Charlotte thinks she's got his sword skills in her blood, but she loses the duel and can't wrap her head around it. Poor girl, especially since she's got no clue what puberty's gonna do. Dale tells her she lost because she's not the divine sword. Being proud of where you come from isn't bad. But as she is now, she can't protect her fam anytime soon. Her enemy's at least 10 times stronger than our hero right now. Even when there was nothing, Charlotte kept training. That's why she can't get why another kid stopped her. To her, something's gotta be off. Every hit she throws is blocked by our hero, so she asks him what to do next. Dale, instead of answering, promises on his family to protect Charlotte's family. Until she can stand on her own. The girl's confused by this. Dale says nothing's free in this world. She'll be his sword when the time comes. Charlotte realizes she can't say no to this deal, and at the ripe old age of 8 or something, she makes a vow to another kid. At least, she's set on keeping her word. That same day, our hero hits up his dad's office and hears about Vanessa's request. Saxon's surprised by the girl's obedience. He's curious what our hero did. Dale says he promised to protect her. Hearing this, the Duke wonders if the boy's promise was out of pity. But our hero makes it clear that's not it. He sees the girl's got mad talent. She knows her way around a sword. And what he wants for the future is for his family to have a sacred sword like hers. The Duke seems to dig those words. In ancient Teutonia's capital, someone's super ticked off by the news. Brandenburg's not happy with what went down. Mad at his crew, he can't believe they let a girl slip away. The servant says they sent assassins, but they all got wrecked, probably by Charlotte herself after calling them all useless. Brandenburg heads for a sword, reminiscing about his glory days when he ended the hero's life. Now he's got the sacred sword Durandal. Showing he's a total weirdo, Brandenburg's ready to hunt down his bride. He quickly orders his servant to send men to the Duke's turf. They should hit up the Thieves' Guild and pay whatever it takes to get the girl back. A week later, the girl's still at the Duke's place, hitting the books hard. She's also training daily with the hero. The two are super competitive. Helmet calls the start of the match. The two kids start trading blows with real swords, showing off the coordination of Olympic champs. Charlotte, even under pressure, blocks all the hits. Every day of his life, this has to be the best for Helmet, as he gets to set up a battle of such skilled kids that he's moved. The killer instinct of these kids is intense. Like they've spent 32 years in the Complexo de Mare in Rio de Janeiro. Our hero gains a bit of space by ducking behind the cape. Charlotte's about to land a killer blow, but Helmet stops it with a genius idea. Time to stream it and cash in. After getting hyped up, Charlotte was like, "Nah, compliments won't level me up. I need some real talk." Helmet was all, "Do you even know what your saber's about?" She was like, "Duh, it's all about those piercing strikes." The captain jumped in. "Wrong, silly kid, it's all in the leg moves. You should have hit the books more." Dale can sneak up on her easy because of this. Every time she overreaches, her blade's like, "Oops, lost my mojo." Helmet was like, "Back to basics, girl." Her stance is all over the place. She said she never had a legit teacher. Helmet was like, "Your stance is whack," which made her super salty. But the captain's just messing with her. Dude needs his laughs too. Building a mana circle's like basic stuff. Feel the flow, make a heart path, but it takes forever. Sophia was shook. Our boy nailed the second circle in this world. They clock mana circle RPMs. Most mages hit 300 on their first, our boy's at 2000 and 400 on the second. He's ready for the third now. He's crushing it. Our hero's running more tests, perfecting his ice bullet, making it tougher. He wants to up the caliber for epic destruction. This is the armor-busting bullet, left a massive mess behind. Dale was like, "Whoa, that was a breeze." Sophia's super proud of her student. He's learning at warp speed. Dale's like, "Couldn't have done it without you," which makes the teacher all thoughtful, 'cause this kid's all about using his power for good. Still, he freaks her out sometimes, but he inspires her more after a hug. She said she's super proud, and our boy's like, "Oh yeah." Puberty round 2 awkward vibes for the dude. Realizing his teacher sees him as a kid, but he shakes it off, focusing on training this time. Dale built a massive ice wall, blasting it with beefier bullets. The impact sent shards flying, needing a magic shield. Dale's planning to make shotgun-style bullets next. Then someone called his name. It's Charlotte. Tracking him down at his training spot, he noticed she's been grinding too, practicing the captain's footwork. Dale's like, "You really dig swordplay, huh?" And she's got something to say. Apologizing for being a brat. Realizing she was kinda rude, Dale's like, "True. But it's cool. Let's move on." He also asked her to chill with the formal talk. Now they're both hanging out. Charlotte's like, "Love this time of year, the weather's lit, she can train longer." The cold air's her recovery buddy. Which is kinda funny, but our hero's on the same page. While they're chatting, they're being spied on. It's our hero's mom noticing he's growing up. Now she's gotta keep tabs on these two cause the mom's got plans. Time to guide her son into the family biz. Oh snap, the girl dodged one baby trap, only to land in another. Talk about out of the frying pan into the fire. Soon after, they're at the territory's edge. As good rich folks, they do some charity to feel all warm and fuzzy, but real change is about jobs and fair pay, not handouts. Our hero's helping out too, with Charlotte by his side. A kid from the area started asking for help, saying his mom's in trouble. The toothless kid's super serious. It's a sketchy ask, but they decided to follow him. Dale's without his knights, but honestly, after the orc saga, they're kinda meh on the rooftops. Dale spotted a shady dude and knew he was from the Thieves Guild. All of this was a setup to trap Charlotte. And when they got there, the boy said he'd call his mom. Then bam! A bunch of bandits popped out to ambush them. Our hero was stoked. It had been ages since he caught a whiff of guts in the air. The bandit warned them not to move, or things would get messy. Dale promised that girl'd protect her no matter what. The bandit leader thought it was adorable. A kid not even a meter tall and barely 20 kilos, talking big. Time to show this kid how the real world rolls. But our hero, totally chill. Charlotte was freaking out cause she forgot her toy sword. Dale told her to chill. Perfect chance for him to try out his shadowy cloak skills. Bandits were closing in from all sides. As they got near the boy, shadows started to appear. Way off, the bandit leader tried to tell his crew to bail. Shows he's got battle smarts. His crew dodged a sneaky hit. But the bald dude? Not so lucky. This new power turns shadows into parasites, moving on their own, causing chaos. The bandits watched in horror as the bald dude got totally wrecked, until he turned into a dark creature. A Taimu Wolverine. The creature said it was starving, and the bandits freaked out. But that didn't last. They jumped back into the fight. The thief leader thought taking down a kid would be a breeze. Once more, our hero was cornered. The thief leader using his speed, he thought his assassination skills were top-notch. But his daggers got blocked by the hero's shadows. Sadly, the thief can't fly, no wings for him. Easy target. Now his body got blasted by the hero's ice bullets, spreading chaos among these extras. Charlotte's safely hidden, but she's watching everything closely. The bandit leader's down, and the shadow creatures tearing through enemies. Oops, bullets didn't pierce that bandit, but they hurt. His aura protected him enough to make him cough up blood. Tried to attack again. Got shredded. That undead's going wild, munching on its victims. Dale's ignoring the creature. Priorities checking if Charlotte's okay. One bandit still alive, totally freaked, trying to escape, but our hero nailed a shot, turning him into a one-legged dude to avoid more chaos. Dale called back the shadow controlling the bald guy. Heading to the one-legged bandit, the extra offered to spill everything he knew, hoping for some kind of deal, but Dale wasn't into wasting time. Put a hole in the guy's head. All that's left are bodies decorating the scene. Charlotte's visibly shaken. Our hero said his family's like Batman here, they punish bandits. But there's Wayne Tech to help out. Now he wants to know if she was super scared. She admitted she kinda wet herself, but it's cool now cause the hero fought to protect her since that vow. Charlotte's been thinking about it. Knowing if she's protected, she'll become a sword for them one day. And she's grateful for learning what the future holds. She'll get even stronger. Poor thing. She doesn't know our hero feels guilty for the past, since he was the one who ended Bardell's life. So, hearing her words eased our social justice warrior's conscience a bit. He felt his sins were getting redeemed, but there's someone ticked off in these lands. Bradenburg just got some heads as a gift and he's super mad. With the heads came a letter, inviting him to visit Saxon's lands. It'd be smart not to say no. They need to chat about what went down. Bradenburg's got a big role in the empire, but even he can't say no to that invite. After a few days, He did what he was told just looking at Bradenburg. You can tell he's scared stiff. The protagonist's dad was totally caught off guard by how fast he showed up. And he's all sorry for the low-key welcome. Looking kinda awkward, Bradenburg said nothing was more urgent than that invite. And then boom, he spotted two sneaky kids hanging around. Bradenburg knows this whole deal is a major red flag. And he's all like, why was he even called here? Saying the Emperor's trusty sword wouldn't get mixed up in stuff like this, not buying it. Saxon unleashed his dark powers, but plot twist. The sacred sword blocked it. The soldiers who couldn't dodge it got dusted like poof. They didn't even get a chance to yell for backup. Bradenburg's totally solo in that hall. He realized this is some next-level black magic. The kind that could wreck a marriage in a week, so he started begging for mercy, and the Duke told him to hit the floor. Bradenburg tried to talk his way out, saying it's an insult, but the Duke told him to listen up. There won't be another heads up for what went down. Facing that dude, Bradenburg felt like a total beta. He didn't see the fallout being this intense even after all that. Saxon said he's a chill guy and not into drama. But if his kids are in danger again, Bradenburg and his fam will know what it was like in Iraq in 2003. Strongly suggesting Bradenburg not test the truth of these words. Now that the message is out, Saxon's like, the trip must have been rough, maybe take a nap, totally embarrassed. Bradenburg thanked him for the hospitality. But, oops, he can't stick around cause he kinda had an accident. Saxon wished him a safe trip back. Our main dude loved seeing that epic fail. This will spread like wildfire across the empire, making the nobles gossip all over again. Everything starts with a tiny spark. The fire will spread fast. Our main dude will get his shot at payback soon later. With Sophia, the Duke headed to his office cause he had something to show her. Those are the bodies of the bandits who tried to mess with our main dude. Sophia was shook. She didn't think her young student could go that hard. Those bodies are super messed up, with guts everywhere for the first time. She thought teaching that kid might have been a bad call. The Duke's worried too and said they need Sophia's smarts to guide this kid. She got offered a bigger role, to join the family's crew. Saxon thinks she's key to the kid's growth. If she can back him up, things could change big time. Sophia gets the weight of these words, knowing her top mission is to get how this kid sees the world. After months, the main dude turned 10, and the noble crowd at his party is even bigger. And among them was someone super notable, a weird redhead, the Marquis Yuri. This guy seems stoked to finally meet the main dude. Just a bit ago, people were wowed by the dessert spread. Those nobles are loving our boy's birthday bash, and they wish these lands were closer to the capital. The Emperor's squad is the biggest, and they dig his vibe. They all hit up this birthday with one goal. It's a clear heads up, they're ready to clamp down on our boy's fam for what happened. The messenger picked to drop this news is right in front of our main dude. It's the Marquis Yuri, who introduces himself all polite. The Crimson Lord, not sure about you, but he gives off vibes like Hisoka. If you catch my drift, master of the Red Tower, he's a guy who digs chaos and destruction. Execution gigs are always handled by guys like him. Our boy's been the guinea pig for the Red Tower's experiments in his past life. Now, this young genius is about to get grilled. The Crimson Lord heard he's got mad magic skills. While he's chatting with our boy, some ladies are checking out this dude's looks. Our main dude keeps getting props for his wins, and he hoped the Marquis would enjoy the night already outside. Dale's feeling again that celebrating his birthday like this is exhausting. He'd rather be training with Charlotte right now, but the poor girl's stuck working with her mom. It's safer for her if her name stays low-key, at least for now. Our boy's stroll got cut short by someone screaming. A dude's trying to nab one of the maids at the party. The maid's totally freaking out. She's in big trouble. Right in front of her is this red-haired jerk who thinks he's all that while everyone's partying. This dude decides to cause some chaos. He stuffed his face with food, now he's craving something else. Our hero swoops in, ready to save the day. Super mad, he asks what this jerk thinks he's doing. Seeing the young genius, the snob noble gets scared. He didn't think he'd get caught like this. Trying to play it cool, he asks if the kid's into girls yet, but our hero's too young for that stuff. Then he offers to be the kid's mentor in this area, claiming he'll show him some cool things. Dale whips up a tiny magic circle with his hands, telling the maid she's gonna be safe soon. This world is seriously whack. Our hero had to take on another noble, but he didn't go all out, just wanted to freak the guy out a bit. Even though he nailed it, Dale's not backing down. Taking on nobles who roll with the Emperor is kinda sketchy. The noble, a bit bruised, starts questioning our hero, but Dale's not having it, tells the chubby dude to kneel when asked why. Our hero gets even more fired up, demanding the jerk apologize for his actions that made works here, and what the jerk did was super disrespectful. Trying to defend himself, the jerk says he's repping the Emperor, which could stir up more drama. Dale asks if his immunity lets him break the law. As the jerk gets more ticked off, some big shots roll and Dale warns him one last time, but his dad and the Crimson Marquis show up. The Marquis digs the kid's guts. Finding the whole scene pretty wild, our hero's dad asks what's up. Dale says the jerk messed with a maid, but that's not enough. Saxon's not cool with that, and the jerk calls the kid reckless, fuming. Dale warns the jerk again, saying he didn't say he could stand. Then, our boy says these folks are the Emperor's crew, guests from the capital. Even so, the jerk's disgracing his title by attacking a woman. He can't let that slide. The Marquis, hearing this, gives props to the young dude's smarts, agreeing he's speaking facts. It's not cool for someone repping the Emperor to act like that. Then it's the Crimson Lord's turn to do his thing. Roasting extras, the jerk realizes he's toast, so he tries to bail while he can. But the fire's already on his tail, chasing him down. And he starts roasting right there while the jerk's getting cooked. Yuri praises the hero's words again, saying his job's to clean up the empires. Saying he's stoked to see the young master's future. Even after all that drama, life goes back to normal. Guests bounce and peace is back. Next day, Dale wakes up with a pounding headache. The maid he saved wakes him up. She's got a mission. She wants to thank the hero for saving her, saying she's honored to serve someone as noble as him. Dale's confused why she hesitated, and he's kinda shy about the praise. But trying to play it cool, he thanks her back. He's the oldest in the fam and gets the weight of his last name. His dad's also impressed, saying the kid's super smart, but warns it was a risky move. He wants to know what the kid thinks. Dale remembers a hero from another world who died in battle. If not for that, the next hero's sword would have been in their family. Saxon says that's almost blasphemy, and wants to know why the kid's so sure. But our hero can't spill the beans. He knew in a past life the Empire was plotting against Saxon. The Empire ditched the hero cause they were scared he'd get too strong. Dale says with the hero gone, the Empire did zilch about the darkness in the Demon King's turf. It was up to others to clean up that mess. In this case, Saxon's own family. Until that area's totally cleaned up, they'll always have issues. Moreover, they're known all over the Empire as the Clan of Darkness. Just like the hero got ditched, they might be next. Saxon was all ears, curious about how the hero got ghosted. Dale said he figured it out from his own research, the most obvious guess. Word is, he went out like a boss after battling Bardell. But now his dad's deep in thought. Lots of stuff might not add up to the main dude. The Empire's just a big bully, picking on the little guys. Saxon's blown away by how smart his kid is, and asked what their game plan should be. The kid was straight up, they can't chill with the Empire. For real, they gotta take it down. Strong words from the kid made his dad super serious. Saxon asked if the kid knows what he's getting into now. Dale said they shouldn't start a riot just yet, but he gave his dad a 10-year countdown. Rebels are popping up all over the place. Other vassals are in the same boat, scared of getting hunted down. The economy's tanking, and violence is going through the roof, but in 10 years, they can totally boost these lands' prosperity. By backing other resistance squads that are also growing, Dale laid out his whole plan to the Duke. They chatted till the sun came up, time for the dude to drop his own thoughts. Truth is, he was really vibing with what he heard, realizing his kid's got mad skills. Cause that kid spotted stuff he couldn't. This just makes him even prouder as a dad. From now on, he's not just a kid, but the heir to these lands. And as the head of the fam, Saxon said he'll listen to the kid and respect his ideas, saying he can speak up without holding back. This is a big moment for the main dude, getting more authority. Time to see what he's made of. Dale wants to take on the Tower Trial, which is in Necropolis. It's like a wizard game where they face off against the Magic Tower's guardians. The tougher the enemy, the bigger the prize. The strongest gets the Elder title, and the best of the best gets the Master title. Saxon asked if the kid's really up for it, cause it's a super risky place. Since he hasn't hit the third circle yet, it might be too soon, but the kid said he'll get there soon. Usually the third circle's a post-20 thing, even if he's a prodigy. Saxon's worried. But our main dude said it's his call if he can show his strength in that challenge. His authority will get even stronger, boosting his rep. That's the real goal of our main dude. Once again, his dad seemed to dig it, so he said, "Head, let the kid decide." Dale's ready to show his dad he's dead serious after a few days. He rolled into the city of death. A carriage is pulling up to the tower. Loads of people are ready to greet the Duke. Our main dude hopped out yawning, 'cause he snoozed the whole trip. Dale's wondering if he's bitten off more than he can chew this time. People are shook by the Duke's presence there, and his genius kid, but they notice the kid's not super hyped. They also heard he's got mad sword skills. That's when someone doubted it. Velik's a background dude at the academy, thinking he'll conquer that tower. The Duke and his kid are welcomed by a big shot. It's been ages since Saxon saw Ares, one of the tower's elders. When the evaluation goes down, Shelby helping the young main dude stoked to meet her. Dale was quickly shown around with the main dude. Another 59 candidates are in the mix. All academy-trained. Dale finally met all the other contenders. Ares starts welcoming everyone there. It's her job to explain the first Black Tower challenge to them. They gotta start with the necklace. They got the Necklace of Life. This stage is a free-for-all battle, and this necklace has a protection spell. When candidates get hit with a legit attack, the necklace will work its magic, showing they're out. Those who land a hit earn a life point, 3 points to move on to the next stage. Anyone using artifacts gets the boot, 'cause that's cheating. Dale doesn't seem fazed by the crowd, until some extras think they can mess with our main dude, assuming he hasn't hit the third circle yet. They even feel kinda bad for going after a kid like him. Our hero loves this cockiness. It makes smacking down the extras a breeze. Finally, the showdown kicks off and everyone starts prepping their spells. One extra managed to bring a body back to life. A bunch of undead start marching toward our hero, who's about to get jumped by the first one, but something stops that from happening. It's our hero's own undead, rocking Wolverine-style claws, and it seems to pack a serious punch. An icy energy spreads out, freezing some baddies while Wolverine's on the attack. The extras are trying to figure out if this little dude's already a double mage. The frozen zombie is now totally wrecked. Our hero seems to be the biggest boss in the area. An undead tries to jump him, but the Wolverine zombie's got his back, thanks to its ice armor, showing that the attack is totally pointless. Wolverine, meanwhile, still has plenty of smackdown to dish out. That cocky extra thinks using more than one element is against the rules, because this test is just for necromancers who use dark magic, but our boy knows there's no rule stopping him from using his spells. Since the test is still going, it's clear he's in the right. The extras have to team up to take down our boy, who's getting surrounded by all those creatures again. Dale would love to bust out his artifact's power, but since it's banned, he's gotta think up another plan. Dale slips past all the creatures and is closing in on the extra's spot. On the way, there's a zombie who tries to jump our boy, but that's exactly what he was waiting for. Dale takes down the creature with his bare hands, and snags the sword the monster was holding, using it to finish off his enemy. The extras are totally freaked. The kid can do that with ease. That blade was boosted with magic, a sign this kid knows exactly what he's doing now. In front of the hero is another enemy, who throws a brutal punch his way, but our hero's too small to get hit. He dodges and is ready to strike back. After a few hits, he turns that undead into a bunch of pieces. Now, the extras got no creature to boss around, giving our hero the chance to go after those unprotected fools. Only the big mouth is left standing, and Dale walks up to him all chill. The extra begs for mercy, but our boy's having a blast with it, since none of them are actually gonna die. So Dale smacks that fool's head with his sword blade, which is enough to hurt him. Time to get the results from that first round. Dale's the only one who passed, scoring a total of 60 points. Our hero just hopes everyone watches closely, 'cause this is the first step toward his destiny. Time for round 2. Our hero's gotta take down a big creature. Usually those who pass the first round team up to beat this monster together, but our hero did everyone a solid by wiping out the competition to 0. This means he's gotta win this round all by himself. Unlike the first round, any magic's fair game this time. Even so, he can't use his artifact, but that won't stop our hero from snagging victory. He's all set to face this creature with everything he's got, ready to unleash the power of the third circle. The monster throws a massive punch, wrecking a lot of the arena's floor. Amidst all the dust, the creature can't spot its target. Then it realizes its arm's on fire. Dale used one of his spells to strike at just the right moment. He's speeding up the decomposition of this undead Aaron, and the boy's dad are shocked by the technique he's using, and they want to know why he chose this method instead of just smashing the enemy right away. It's because of the hero's past experience. Back when he took down monsters with a sword, chemical warfare is always a win. The only downside is the nasty smell that comes after recycling a trick from his past life. Our hero can use dark magic in a fresh way. On that same day, he smashed a historical record, hitting the 10th level, leaving the extras green with envy. Since there were loads of eliminations, the other 59 participants get to try the challenge again. On the night of that epic evaluation, our hero heads to a water fountain in the garden. His teacher found him chilling there, and she came over to hype up his epic performance. Dale said it was all thanks to her awesome teaching skills, which made her even prouder. But our dude's got a question now. He wants to know if his teacher would be down for a date. Seriously? Whoever wrote this is a total goofball. Dale mentioned there's a festival popping off in the city, and they should totally hit it up. Safia, still kinda unsure, eventually agreed to go. She's thinking about how she's actually going on a date to her. This kid probably doesn't get what it means, but our main guy knows exactly what's up, and he planned it all. In the city center, the festival's buzzing with energy. Fireworks are lighting up the sky. Strolling through the streets, Safia said her student must be wiped out from the tests that day. Dale said it's all good, and for smashing the historical record, he scored a few days off until the next round. Now they're just walking in silence through the city, under the moonlight that's lighting up everything. Dale realized that flirting like this isn't as easy as it used to be, but that silence isn't awkward. It's always chill hanging with his teacher. Maybe because she believed in him from the start, and that's why he wants to get closer to her. Days ago, when he hit his third circle, he finally got what Safia was saying, about what the previous world really means. To level up, the boy needs to flood his second circle with mana. Once again, he felt the wild rush of mana. It's the only way to do it. Dale felt like a sword went through his chest, Bradenbugs. But looking back, the boy saw nothing. 'Cause he was in a totally different place. Slowly, he started to figure out what that landscape could be. Reach through deep meditation, that's the main dude's inner world. And there's nothing there. The place looks super empty. The emptiness reflects his loneliness. Even then, Safia reached out to our boy. That's when he realized she's the one who brings light to his world. Dale took the chance to confess, saying he likes his teacher. Those words made the teacher a bit flustered. And the boy said again that he likes her. Safia replied with a smile. Then she hugged the boy, as a way to thank him for those words. Safia also said they're a lot alike. After a few days, it was time for the main dude to face the next challenge. But he's bummed he made no progress with Safia. She probably saw that confession as just kid talk, which is a total bummer in this challenge. Our main guy needs to win a duel to move on. The opponent this time is super humble and honored to face the main dude, and he made it clear he won't go easy on him just 'cause he's a kid. In this stage, using artifacts is allowed, and the necklace's protection might not cut it. All this just adds to the main dude's victory, who had to until now. As soon as the duel kicked off, an attack was already coming at our boy. A massive explosion went down in that spot. This opponent isn't like those newbies, and is super determined to win right away. Dale managed to block it, but a bunch of dark arrows are already aimed at him. Our boy needs to think fast if he doesn't want to end up like Swiss cheese. The attacks are getting crazier. This extra really thinks he's got it in the bag. 'Cause all the main dude's done so far is dodge these insane attacks. Dale's thinking about calling out the rules since that first attack happened before the battle even started. A total foul, but since she's watching, nothing happened. A sign that everything's cool, or they want to see what this young dude's got. That's why the main dude always hated wizards. It's time for the side character to bust out another one of his tricks, summoning a bunch of undead to join the fight too. He made a speech for this to happen. Those words alone almost made the main dude die of cringe. Even so, that opponent's seriously tough. Dale's still getting pushed by the attacks, which just boosts the side character's ego more, seeing the young prodigy under pressure, until our main dude decided to use his shadow technique. Even though he managed to defend himself, the side character thinks there's nothing else to see here. Time to make some noise, folks. Boom time. Right at the heart of it all, our hero's in the mix. After pulling off this epic move, the sidekick's feeling all smug, thinking he's got it in the bag. But when the dust clears, he's shook. No one's there. Our hero's vanished like a ninja. Hiding in the shadows, Dale's all only a coward cheats against a kid. But with no clue where his rival's at, the dudes freaking out our heroes got a sixth sense for this guy's shaky confidence. He pops up next to him thanks to his artifact's magic. But all his moves now, not enough to win. Looking down, the sidekick sees his legs caught by shadows. Ready to chow down, Dale's cool with it, just wants a little piece left. The crowd's jaws are on the floor at this sight. The poor dude's getting wrecked by the artifact's power. It's taking over him in a super creepy way. Now it's the sidekick's turn to beg for mercy. Dale gives his artifact the nod, and the shadows back off, leaving the guy out cold with his undies a bit. Stained Dale, after all that pressure, snags the win with style, and he's pumped to take on the next challengers, but after that horror show, they all chicken out. Making our hero's path a breeze, he uses the chance to level up his third magic circle at the 20th level. A real contender shows up. It's the legendary Headless Knight, ready to throw down. This beast was crafted by a tower elder, a chance for all to see its might. Some doubt the young prodigy can clear this level. Dale knows things get dull if it's too easy, so he sends in his shadows. The crowd's glued to the action, clueless about what's next. To everyone's shock, the Headless Knight bows to our hero. Dale's nailed this win without a scratch. It's like he and the creature are vibing on another level, showing who's boss. Dale tells the creature to end it. It drives the sword through its chest, armor clattering to the floor. Such loyalty, it ditches its role as guardian. Only then does our hero realize he might have gone a bit overboard. Still, everyone's blown away, but it's rare for a creation to draw its own master. Dale's hit elder status in the tower, proving his worth as he walks away from the crowd, gossips buzzing about his next move. Even though he can climb higher, there's a line he can't cross. And here, even monsters quake with fear. Something unknown. Finally, the hero's test wraps up. Outside the tower, our hero and his dad are like military rock stars. Nobles and elders are all about showing respect for the boy's feats. Thanks to his killer performance, the region's territories are rallying together in the farthest reaches. Soldiers are taking out monsters. Among them, a spear master showing off mad skills. They're all doing it to honor our hero's name. After acing the tower challenge, Dale's dad hands him the reins of the monster-busting squad. And it's no joke, something a 10-year-old shouldn't be doing, but no one's doubting our boy's skills. Slowly, he's bringing the region together with his hard work. Back at the castle, he's told the squad took down 145 monsters, and only 3 cavalry soldiers got minor scrapes. No big losses. Saxon asks if his son used magic to shield the troops. But the boy's all, nah, not needed. The operation's success is all about that army's training. Saxon's beaming, proud of his son's epic achievement. Helmet's stoked, too, thinking the hero's ready to lead a bigger crew. Truth is, the captain's always schooling the boy on the theory side, and he's sure the young man will soon lead a massive army, becoming a legend in wars. Plus, Dale's still training with Charlotte. The 2 kids are going all out. Dale notices Charlotte stepped up her game a bit, but the girl totally gets she's still trailing behind him, since our main dude's rocking 3 magic circles and crushed the tower challenge. Everyone's buzzing about his epic feats, his name's on repeat like a catchy song. Seeing her bummed out, he told his buddy to chill. He's super sure she'll level up soon. Even at just 10, this girl's already a mega-talented prodigy. She's not a fan of being treated like a kid by our hero, who's also a kid. Honestly, he kind of forgets that sometimes. Acting all grown up, he thinks he's already there. Back at the castle, Dale's got another military theory sesh with the captain. That day, he learned about the hammer and anvil strategy. It's when the cavalry hits from both sides, they gotta smash through the enemy while the infantry holds them back, named 'cause it's like whacking a steel bar with a hammer, resting on an anvil. Dale figured it works 'cause of their cavalry, but he's got some burning questions. Switching gears, Dale wants the deets on Charlotte's training. Not as gifted as the main dude, but she's still a standout. She's nailed her swordswoman basics, soon to inherit her fam's technique, but there's a big worry. Dale's already clued in, her fit with the sax and sword skills. Knights turn mana into aura to boost themselves using cultivation tricks. Mages do the same, passing down knowledge through the towers. Knights form orders to teach their skills to the next gene. Our guy knows the next of his life is coming up. Charlotte's hard with him. All in the cavalry here is like tanks on legs. Their thing is smashing everything. A real power show Charlotte style is all about speed and agility. She swings a free sword but might not make it to the 7 sword masters. She might never snag the title her dad once had. Dale knows she needs to ace the blooming sword technique, but they gotta find someone who knows it. Sadly, it vanished with her family's fall. Dale really wishes it hadn't disappeared. Their trainings non-stop. Our hero's routine is hardcore, hunting monsters and training. Time to show off his progress. A territorial war's brewing. Another noble wants a piece of a copper mine. Borders here are kinda blurry. The noble's not backing down from the mine, plus Brandenburg's backing them. Eyeing a slice of the copper pie, our hero's not thrilled. His foes are playing sneaky. Looks like Brandenburg needs another smackdown to remember its place. Our hero knows since that day, this fool's plotting revenge, but kicking off a territorial war needs a solid reason, and the border's the perfect excuse. Thinking it over, Dale knows what's gotta be done. He wants to lead the army, but his dad's not having it, saying it's too soon for him to handle such a big deal and he should quit making wild claims. War's not like fighting monsters. Listening to the Baron, Saxon told him to chill. The mine's safe. The guy thanked him, but our hero's bummed. He's sure he's up for it and can't get why his dad said no. Helmet gets the boys let down but says the Duke's got his reasons. Being the cool uncle, he set up something for the boy. He wants him to learn a strategy game. Sounds super fun. It's chess-like, but totally different. Helmet said it's like real war, rules are tricky, but he thinks his nephew will ace it. Playing against him, the boy will learn more about the battlefield. Dale grabbed that board and started celebrating big time. In no time, he was chilling with his dad. Dale threw down the gauntlet to the Duke, challenging him to a match. If he won, he'd get the green light to lead the troops. Our dude figured out that war's not just about muscles, it's a brain game too. And he wanted to prove himself in that match. Helmet said sorry for the drama, but the Duke was down with the boys' plan. If Dale won, he'd get his wish. Dale gave a nod of thanks, but his dad was like, lose and zip it. About this again. The game was on. Our hero was totally in his element. Helmet watched, totally mind blown by the action. Victory was a breeze, and to top it off, that was the boy's 3rd win in a row. All he cared about was if the promise would be kept. With no other choice, Saxon asked how long his son knew the rules. Dale said he read a book on it years ago. But come on, that's a total fib now. They had to keep their word. Saxon handed over the reins to the boy for the upcoming battle, which made the captain sweat a bit. Plus, Saxon reminded him that their family pride was on the line. Losing wasn't an option. So he asked again if Dale could really handle this. But our hero was chill. Had been the hero before. Saxon was blown away by his confidence. Soon, the news spread, even reaching Brandenburg. He wanted the scoop on what his son was up to. With a wine bottle in hand, he told the old man to chill, cause on the other side was just a 10-year-old kid. Felipe, the eldest, wanted to lead the troops in this attack, but Brandenburg wasn't thrilled, cause he knew that kid was no ordinary Joe and was sure his son couldn't match him, even with a century of training. Since, to him, Felipe was just a young party animal. Ticked off, the old guy regretted not snagging Charlotte when he could. Still, he let his son tag along with the knights, but not to lead, just to hang out. Felipe was confused, learning that the real boss would be the knight Milvas. While Felipe was just there for show. Wrapping up, Brandenburg told the knight to escort the young partygoer out. Truth is, the villain was super stressed. He wanted in on the battle, but didn't want to go all out against a kid. Now, he thought this was all part of Saxon's master plan. Meanwhile, on our hero's side, Helmet was still worried. After a few days, they rolled up to Baron Greenbelt's turf. The Baron was spooked, not expecting the hero that day. His knights were jittery too, seeing just a kid. The Baron approached our hero, saying he was glad he showed up, but inside he was freaking out. Trusting a kid was tough, but since the hero was the Duke's son, he invited him to a feast. But the boy was like, no time for that. This freaked the Baron out even more. Our boy whipped out his sword. He said he needed to check out the troops cause he wanted to find the toughest soldier there. The Count wasn't used to this kind of demand, with a sword at his throat, and the hero said he wouldn't repeat himself. Then a soldier stepped up, claiming he was the top dog in those troops. No one could beat him in the area, and he was ready to teach the kid a lesson, thinking destiny picked him to restore the Count's honor. But checking out the soldier, our hero was a bit let down. Still, he pulled back the sword from the Count's neck. One thing our boy knew, these folks were doubting him cause he was just 10, yet leading a big mission. In response, Dale said he was doubting their skills too, and the best way to bond was through swords, but gotta keep it fun. The so-called strongest soldier was just a party animal, proving only mediocrity. Since fighting isn't really the vibe, Dale asked if the knight does that to level up his bravery stats. Those words just made the knight go full rage mode. The extra dude's name is Harbuck, and he's all about restoring the honor of that place. In no time, both are geared up for this not-so-chill showdown. Dale asked if that knight caught wind of the epic stuff he's already pulled off. The knight nodded, and our main guy realized he's got some serious confidence. Maybe he's cooking up some sneaky strategy to catch the boy off guard in a flash. The knight charged at the protagonist, but when the swords first clashed, our hero whipped out his shadow, which is basically unbreakable for that poor extra. Dale also noticed this knight isn't flexing any aura. Maybe he doesn't even have it if this dude's going all out. Our hero's not holding back either. He cranked up his shadows and summoned a magic circle. A bit freaked, the extra realized he's trapped in the darkness. Now he's getting seriously spooked. Showing off his knight skills, he tried slicing through the shadow with his sword, but realizing these attacks won't quit. The artifact's power messed with his focus. He tried to strike the protagonist, but it was a total fail. Seeing those moves, Dale figured this knight isn't all that. Then, out of nowhere, the knight just dropped like he got hit by an invisible banana peel. Dale watched, still shook, wondering if this is for real. He couldn't believe the knight got wrecked so easily. Now the Count's sweating bullets. One of his top knights got caught before a big event. Right then, Dale asked if the Count really gets the mess he's in with skills this week. His troops are just gonna slow down the battle. Looks like he planned to chill and watch the fight from a safe spot while our hero does the heavy lifting if that's his best knight. Dale's got some bad news. Even so, Saxon's gonna keep his promise to guard that mine. But that doesn't mean they can slack off. They gotta stay battle ready. Until then, the protagonist's crew will be the region's sword. It's time for the Count to make a move, whether hell back our boy or risk losing his lands. As soon as he wrapped up his speech, Dale saw all the soldiers kneeling. They're now pledging loyalty to him. Back at the protagonist's family castle, Helena's crying a river, but she's getting comforted. Saxon's sure his kids got way more talent than they think. And when the boy grows up, he'll see horizons they never dreamed of. He's sure this kid will rule the world one day. Waking up super tired, the protagonist realized he's surrounded by total noobs. Brandenburg didn't pick that spot randomly. He knew those troops were not ready. The next morning, the soldiers kicked off the day with some hardcore work. They're hauling massive stones, but they're not fit enough to finish the training. Our boy watched as the training went down. That extra, who's the strongest of them all, is already tapped out. These troops need to start with the basics. Getting fit is a must. Dale told the messenger to head to Baron Parker's turf to kick off negotiations. Our boy's not down for any lame terms. And before the battle, he wants to chat with some folks. A tent for this negotiation popped up at the border. The galaxy's most promising kid is already there. Waiting. Enemy reinforcements are a few weeks out, with supply logistics and attacks pretty much a given, and Baron Parker's strength shouldn't be taken lightly. With the Baron is also Felipe, which makes the protagonist super happy. He kinda saw this coming. That commander's just for show. Dale knows he's a total nobody. Milvas, the knight behind him, is the real boss of that squad. Our hero greeted both with mad politeness. Felipe's got this cocky vibe and wants to know if the boy's really down to negotiate after all this time. Looks like the kid got spooked by a real war. Dale flipped the question, asking why they even agreed to the negotiation. He made it clear he wasn't talking to Felipe. Our hero's not chatting with the puppet. He wants answers from the real commander, the knight Milvas, and this move from our boy got both of them all riled up. To prove his point, Dale asked why a sacred sword would be chilling there, especially when the so-called commander has zero talent. Milvas told Felipe not to sweat those comments, but the real commander started to freak out. Not many know about Brandenburg's beef with his party-loving son. So, this kid shouldn't know such top-secret stuff. Dale took the chance to stir the pot, asking Felipe how it feels to be hated by his own dad. Milvas jumped in and said the chat is over. Time to bounce ASAP, but the poor playboy is already caught in the main character's trap, who asked if he also needs permission to speak, taking orders from someone lower than him. It's like the dog walking the owner. Milvas tries to tell Felipe to ignore those words, but the dude's already super ticked off and asked for silence. The two are now bickering a lot while our main character watches with a grin. At this rate, this argument might be more epic than the story itself, since the puppet ended up showing the strings. The main character's goal is to mess up the enemy's command chain. He never wanted to negotiate for real, so he told his own knight to chill outside. Dale is now flying solo and asked if they could chat in private. Only the real bosses of the command Felipe agreed to this, which made the real commander even more nervous. Milvas got kicked out pretty harshly, using his Brandenburg Sun card to do it. The real commander is now super worried this party boy fell right into the enemy's trap. To not make things worse, Milvas left the cabin. The main character gave props for this move and told Felipe he came just to negotiate, but the young playboy isn't buying it. Dale said if his dad's knights bailed from this fight, he could hook Felipe's troops up with all the supplies they need to head home. This offer made the playboy super offended. Like, majorly Dale said sorry for the earlier roast, but made it clear he doesn't want his troops there. Otherwise, a bunch of Felipe's knights will bite the dust, and others will get nabbed. This is Felipe's last shot to keep his dignity. This made Felipe start to smirk, saying Milvas was right, that meeting was just to tick him off. Dale's bummed his offer got shot down, but with full confidence, he said that was the last deal-head offer. When the battle wraps up, it won't be Milvas who gets blamed for the epic fail, but the totally clueless firstborn. Felipe said this is total nonsense, assuring that the kid won't be grinning for long, because he thinks he'll soon show everyone what's up. After that flop of a negotiation, the patrol on the walls got beefed up. Milvas keeps an eye on his crew, who noticed a big move in Saxon's forces, but the commander's thinking about the chill our main character showed. At no point did he seem like a newbie, so they should take this shot to squash this threat while it's still just a kid, so it doesn't turn into a bigger headache for the Empire. Milvas told his crew they'd shut this kid's mouth for good. A messenger told our main character that the enemy's main force started to move. Dale was already ready for this. It's time to lead his crew into battle, hyping his troops to bring the heat in its purest form. The trumpets blare, the battle's really going down, extras are dropping like flies. Milvas charges in full of swagger, leading his cavalry. Their win plan is to stop the main character's troops from moving forward, and to keep things chill, Felipe's gotta stay out of the chaos. Parker's forces will hang on one side to hit the Greenbelt Knights during this time. Milvas will lead the elite troops to crush the main character. And he knows he can't blow this chance for anything. The soldiers started to realize that things are getting super intense. The cavalry charges hard, the chaos between them is getting more and more wild. But the main character's troops are battle-hardened, and they're telling their buddies that things won't just go down any old way. Looking back, the extras felt a wave of relief. The main character is right there on the battlefield, front and center. With a voice that hasn't hit puberty yet, the kid yells for the troops not to back down. They gotta fight for the honor of their name. Our boy's horse clears a path through a bunch of nobodies. Milvas watches his target closely, who's coming for a face-off. He thinks this is the kid's plan to be bait, but that's exactly what Milvas wants. Then he started to charge at the enemy, with his forces right behind him. Saxon's cavalry won't let anyone get near the main character easily. The two teams clash in a deadly showdown. Milvas is all about that smooth victory vibe. He tells his knights to roll out again, chasing that win. Time to flex their elite soldier status with his spear. Milvas just caught an extra, but hold up. One knight, who clearly skipped helmet 101, is ready for payback. Milvas feels the weapon coming for his neck. But, being the pro he is, he shuts that down real quick and keeps pushing through the battlefield, slicing and dicing, all to get closer to our dude. Then he notices something super sus. Enemies are dropping like flies, and a knight Raven's knight yells retreat. That's our hero's squad. They were supposed to be savage, but it was a cakewalk. Then a message from the flank drops in. Parker's crew is getting wrecked. On the flip side, extras are getting wiped out. No one gets why the green belt goons are using aura on their gear. Felipe gets the 411. They want his squad to help out too, cause our hero's team is going full beast mode on the other side. Felipe, all about that ego, wants to take our hero down. Word gets to Milvas. Felipe's moving his crew to the danger zone, ignoring the real strategist's orders. Flanks are toast, reinforcements are rolling in. Felipe is blinded by his ego, thinking he can take the enemy at this rate. They're gonna be surrounded. One of Milvas' advisors says they should bounce. But the commander ain't ready to dip yet. Looking at our hero, he knows it's not over. Time to smash that arrogance with some serious action. Milvas is rallying his knights again. There's only one way to win. These loyal dudes are ready to ride or die one last time. Everyone's making a sword vow. Milvas asks for some divine backup. Pumped up, he promises they'll slice through the enemy like paper. His troops charge, believing they can flip the script. Enemy troops are closing in on our guy. From his grin, It looks like everything's going according to plan in the chaos of battle. It's hard to see the big picture. The stress and hype can mess with anyone's head. Even a vet like Milvus can't dodge that, and now he sees our guy using a magic arrow that's Dale's ice bullet. Now top tier the shots on point, zooming in on the enemies our hero's target. One of the horses that's enough to bench a knight. Milvus clocks that this kid's got mad aim skills. That spells no joke, and doing it on horseback. Next level, and our hero's just warming up. He conjures a massive ice wall to block the incoming enemies. Now they're stuck with this epic roadblock. Dale gives his squad the go-ahead time to unleash the real attack. Those knights are hyped for action. It's showtime. Extras on the other side start dropping. Milvus watches the chaos unfold. Totally bummed they got played. It was all a setup to top it off. Felipe made the worst call. And danger's closing in on him too. Everyone's getting steamrolled by that attack. The front line's toast. Milvus is getting more and more ticked off with only one move left. Charging at the ice wall like a boss, proving he's a beast. He busts through that wall thinking this time he's ending our hero's military saga. But Dale, weighing in at a solid 28.5 kilos, ain't even phased. Blood's flying everywhere. By day's end, the surviving enemies are all captured. That commander, no longer a threat, got a battlefield promotion to prisoner. His military playbook was his downfall, something our hero knows all too well, having been watched over by knights his whole life. Taking down those baddies was a breeze. One soldier spilled the tea to our hero that Baron Greebelt nailed it too. All the enemy bosses got nabbed. Milvus thinks it's all Felipe's mess up. Our hero figured out there was zero trust between them, so he set a sneaky trap for both, using the chaos of the battle to his advantage. And boom, he made them dig their own grave. But keeping up with Empire vibes. Dale's down to cut some slack if they cough up some gold coins to stay alive, but those soldiers are way too proud for that. Our hero isn't one to push too hard. The first of those extras just got wrapped up. Time for the commander to make his move too. And what he did blew his men's minds. He actually bowed down to a 10-year-old kid. Milvus didn't do it because he was scared of kicking the bucket. The real reason he wanted to stick around was to spread the word. Our hero's a total beast. He told all his knights to do the same. By the Empire's rules, they're asking to be treated as war prisoners. Dale didn't see them kneeling coming, so no need to stir the pot more. Breaking tradition, Dale made sure none of them would make it out alive. He ordered his knights to get to work. Everyone was shook by this order. The Empire's tradition is no joke, but our hero's word is law in that place. The soldiers are getting totally wiped out among those guys. One's guiltier than the rest, feeling the weight of his own mess. The commander tries one last desperate attack only to get his chest skewered ahead of time. Action courtesy of our hero's knights. The boy walked up to the dying commander and asked if he remembers his end. Dale said he remembers seeing his face that night crystal clear. 'Cause he was there too with Brandenburg. When he got backstabbed by the Empire's folks. Fueled by revenge, Dale asked again if he remembers this, his end. Now that he's scared out of his wits, the commander thinks it's impossible. He can't wrap his head around how the hero's still kicking. But he won't get the answer. As shadows swallow him up for the first time, Dale felt a bit of peace. His revenge train had left the station. Flashback time. Soldiers are dropping like flies. When Felipe got what was really going down, they'd already lost the fight. The flank troops were toast, all got wiped out. The Black Cavalry had the enemy's main forces surrounded. Felipe is totally rattled by our hero's smug look. His soldiers are begging him to make a call. But the poor dude's lost it. He doesn't want to lose like this, so he told his men to fight to the last. It's not their style to kneel in battle. This makes the knights nervous, knowing they can't win, but Felipe insists they follow orders. This is their last stand in this fight. Felipe's horse started freaking out because an enemy showed up, ready to slice and dice with his sword. Felipe was scared stiff. He wanted to kick the bucket in bed, not on the battlefield. Our hero's win was epic and total. Everything went down just as he planned, and the young master was getting mad props from his troops. Felipe got captured, and he was throwing a fit to be let go. Our boy saw this arrogant dude had no clue about life. The poor guy kept yapping, and the hero knew he'd ditched the battlefield to save his men. Felipe said he had a commander's duty to stick it out till the end. As the battle wrapped up, Dale thought this guy was living on borrowed time. Full of fear, Felipe asked a kid to hold up, saying he'd gladly take a duel to decide the battle's outcome. One of the hero's knights thought it was super cocky, but our boy let it slide, agreeing to the prisoner's challenge. Felipe felt a flicker of hope as soon as he saw an opening. He charged at our boy. He thought he was a top-notch strategist, and was sure our hero would go for it. It was time for that cocky kid to bite the dust. But the hero's shadows skewered the playboy's hand. Felipe couldn't wrap his head around it. But as soon as the pain hit his hand, he screamed like a kid, begging for mercy. Dale shot him a look that screamed, "Seriously, dude?" realizing Mr. Playboy was gonna stick to being a till the end. Back home, Dale got the hero's welcome like he just won the World Cup or something. His epic tales were spreading like wildfire, and you know how people love to spice things up. But not everyone was hyped. Some were like, "Yo, not all news is good, there was a lot of blood." Maybe the gods were like, "Chill, that's too much drama." This old dude from the church was all, "The gods are cool with the kid now, but one day he might go all sword happy." Back at the someone was bouncing off the walls waiting for our hero. It was his little sis, Lisa, who was barely 2 but already talking like a mini Shakespeare. With her big words, Lisa was like, "Missed you tons bro." Helmet was there too, all smiles, giving props for the epic win. Now our dude was heading to see his dad. On the way, he passed Charlotte and his teacher, giving them a nod. He rolled up to his parents, ready to spill the tea on his victory. Saxon was like, "You crushed it, kid." And our hero was all, "Couldn't have done it without my awesome crew." The nerdy knight, Bale, got a shout out too. Helena thought the kid must be wiped after all that action. She was like, "Dude, you need a nap, ASAP." But the happiness was off the charts for our boy. He hadn't been home in forever, so this was a big deal. Meanwhile, Brandenburg was losing it. Fuming like a kettle, he was demanding to know where his troops and his useless son were. The extra spilled the beans, saying they were all toast, and most survivors were prisoners. Felipe included a fat stack of gold was needed to bail them out. Brandenburg was shook that those losers survived such an epic fail. He was ready to throw them in the slammer for being total wimps. Brandenburg ordered them to be locked up, to start paying for their screw-up. The battle between these two forces became legendary, and people still gossip about our hero's epic feats. Dale got a rep for being ruthless with his enemies. He finally hit the big 1-to-1. His dad had a special surprise for his birthday bash, promoting him to Viscount, a title with major clout and swag. The hero was grateful for the gift, and took the chance to say he had a plan brewing. Rumors about his savage side were making the rounds. That knights loyal to the goddess got a taste of his wrath, and the church wasn't going to be thrilled. Our boy wanted a face-to-face with the Pope, to flip the script on his rep. The Duke had to mull over the kid's request, but he was puzzled, thinking fear was power, yet the kid wanted a makeover. Dale thought the church was a cool squad to have on his side. Saxon asked if the kid had a secret plan, and our hero was like, "Totally." He was gonna make them an offer they couldn't refuse. Plus, while there, he planned to snag the forbidden grimoire. A few days back, our boy had a nightmare from the depths of Horrorville. A zombie had him in its grip, a sword through his chest, asking if he remembered his own death like he was dreaming. He realized he was seeing himself until a sword went right through him. Dale woke up from this nightmare, all shook and gasping. He was in the abyss of his mind, and it was the creepiest scene yet. Our boy's still haunted by loneliness and his inner demons, which he finds super lame. Something's missing, Dale thinks, to master his inner world. He needs even more power, just like a knight needs a sword. Great mages need a grimoire. Our hero's journey finally kicks off. Leaving his home turf, the path led through the battle zone. Far from the Empire's reach after losing, Baron Parker had one option left. He turned to bandit life, and our boy got stopped by these shady types. A bunch of warning arrows hit the ground, halting the carriage. These dudes wanted to know why they were trespassing on Parker's turf. And looking at these bandits, it was clear what they were after they told our traveler a toll was due. Dale was cool with it, saying he had something special ready for this moment. The bandit rocking a bandana on his forehead thinks his target's gonna be chill. His crew snatched a massive bag. Inside, it's loaded with gold coins, way more than they thought they'd score, so they let the caravan roll through, hoping our hero swings by again. But these dudes are feeling they'll keep milking this. Our hero's journey kicks off again, until they hit another roadblock. Baron Parker's chilling with the bandits now, and he's grilling them on how they dare cross his turf without coughing up the toll. Our hero's knight says they already paid, and double dipping on tolls is a no-go. The bandits laugh at our hero's crew, saying nothing's been paid. They just met, and they're all about following the Empire's rules, seizing the moment. The Baron says they gotta fork over everything if they want to keep breathing, facing a so-called war hero, Baron Parker. Our hero was ready for this. But after hearing that, he couldn't help but crack up, laughing out loud. Dale says he doesn't recall any hero from those parts. That's when Baron Parker realizes who he's messing with. Still, he tells his crew to chill. They're just two travelers, this is a fight they can win. They've got the upper hand, the bespectacled knights just waiting for the green light. Dale says, no need to act ticked off. Parker orders his archers to let loose. Arrows are flying at the boy, but his bespectacled knight blocks them, who's also a beast in the art of smackdown and ready to hit back. The extras are now totally spooked, cause the bespectacled knight's already up close with some of them. Chopping limbs with his sword's edge, there's still a bunch of potential targets for this knight. Watching the chaos unfold again, Parker can't believe his eyes on his knees. He's begging the young master for mercy, promising loyalty forever. But our young hero's also a bit of a wild card. He's got no reason to go easy. The journey rolls on. He's met loads like this on the way, until they finally hit the spot that's the sacred city. Where the Church's HQ is. What our hero's doing isn't a pilgrimage. He knows the religious folks are pros at judging our boys now in front of a massive gate, and he's getting close to a big shot priest. This is Cardinal Nicholas, a major religious boss. He's also a white mage in the Sixth Circle, a top fan of the goddess. The cleric heard about the bloodbath in that battle, thinking all those guys were sacrificed. The cleric says it's a bummer. Our boy agrees. Dale admits his choices were bad, causing more sacrifices than needed. To fix his rep, he made this trip. But even the bespectacled knight doubts it'll work. Anyway, Dale tells the priest he hopes this trip wasn't a waste. But looking at the kid, the cardinal thinks the battlefield horrors might have changed his mind. If so, it's perfect. Nicholas says the goddess mercy is for everyone. No sin can't be scrubbed away. Our boy perks up at this, and the cardinal backs it up. Dale asks if that's why he sold the sacred nation to the Empire. Nicholas gets uneasy, saying the boy's jokes are too much. Dale says before the state got snatched by the Empire, the 12 bishops tried to sway the to agree. Nicholas was in on it too, but the old pope wouldn't sign the treaty till the end. So he ended up in a wooden suit. All this happened cause the bishops backstabbed him. Dale wants to know if the goddess forgave the cardinal's sin of selling his nation. That ticks Nicholas off, thinking the boy wants to atone for sins, but all he did was spill lies. Dale says offing a duke's messenger won't hush anything, cause he doesn't want to dig up the Church's dirty lies. They want the cardinal to face the silence's consequences. All this is our hero's bluff. But after a think, Nicholas chills out and asks what the boy wants. Dale knows about a secret archive in this cathedral, where the Church hides forbidden books. The kid's itching to get into this library. No strings attached, cause that's where the creepiest grimoire ever, the Black Goat's book, is chillin'. Our hero's already heading down these spooky stairs. Only one person gets to go in. The cardinal was all, whatever goes down there, the Church ain't involved. He also mentioned the kid can only snag one book, and has to zip it forever about the Church's secrets. Dale was like, sure, no prob. Swearing an oath with the cardinal right there. Using magic that might mess with his health as a side effect. That's one of the White Tower's proud tricks. Dale, going down the stairs, is sure if he breaks that deal, his heart's gonna go boom. He finally hits the gate of the Forbidden Library. At the entrance there's a super chill warning: once you step in, abandon all hope. After opening the door, the kid steps into the library. It's not called hell for nothing, it's a massive dungeon. The books are treasures that always bring chaos. But Dale's gotta find his grimoire like ASAP. On the way, he bumps into someone. A bunch of knights are coming his way, leaving our dude a bit puzzled. It's probably the Church's protection, reanimating those bodies to guard the place. But our hero's shadows are always ready to munch on someone with no one watching. Dale can do whatever he wants using his skills. He takes down all those knights, no sweat. He's glad he doesn't have to hide his power. But our dude's gotta keep his eyes on the prize. After giving a bit of his blood, Dale starts making another oath. He claims he's the family's successor and calls the Darkness clan to seal the deal. A mysterious voice says his blood's super strong, and it wants to make a pact this entity's hype too. Our dude senses the energy shift in the place. The entity feels the hero's thirst for revenge and his killer instinct. Dale's in a big pool of blood. Seems he's inside one of the books. An entity pops up behind him, wanting to seal the deal, promising to wipe out all his enemies. What it's offering is a blood pool, made from the bodies of traitors. Sizing up the scene, Dale figures he's in the Book of Massacre. It's got secret moves, perfect for wiping out tons of folks at once. Its power's off the charts. But that's not what our hero's after now, and he tells the entity to back off, making it clear it's not what he's looking for. Ticked off, the entity tries to attack, not cool with being turned down. It also says he can't leave alive after all this. Right then, Dale shows off his shadow artifact's power. It's just a make-believe world in a book. That world can't mess with what he's got. But it's a whole different story when the tables turn. Our hero's world is totally eating up that dimension, and he didn't even have to break a sweat. The entity's baffled, wondering how it's getting swallowed by a kid's inner world. Dale says the body count his creator racked up doesn't even come close to what he's done. He's lost track of how many cities he's wrecked. That's just a taste of his past. But the entity's still raging, trying to fight back to avoid getting gobbled up. Before it could strike, its body was totally shattered. That should have been impossible. But for our hero, it was a breeze. He's finally heading back to the library. That's when a horned girl talks to him. Turning around, Dale's curious why she spoke up. The girl says she's feeling super lonely and liked having a visitor, 'cause she wants to know if they'll hang out, since where she's at is cold and lonely. The Book of the Black Goat was penned by an immortal, who sacrificed his own daughter. And the book's avatar looks like a kid because of that. Finding what he was after, Dale asks the entity to make a pact. For that to happen, she wants the kid to show her his inner world. When she sees it, she says the place is stunning. Now she's even more into our hero. But hey, race the twist, she wants the 411 on who these people are. And Nicholas Ride is chillin' with some knights. He never thought this little dude would snag such a dangerous book. Dale's all, what's the Cardinal doing in a place like this? It's part of their deal to keep library happenings on the down low. Still, the Cardinal's feeling all kinds of awkward. Dale's convinced the priests there to ghost him in all that darkness. Being a light mage, he totally picked the wrong hangout spot. And Nicholas, all flustered, said he was worried about the kid. Then the entity's like, mind if I munch on these folks? Dale's all, if you get a tummy ache from junk food, that's on you. Nicholas is now totally freaking out. He's trying to shield himself with some prayers, calling on a goddess avatar to have his back and his knights, who are also joining in on the prayer sesh. Feeling pumped, the knights charge at the protagonist, who kinda saw this betrayal coming. The dark entity's just chillin' so far. Dale's dodging sword swings, which are getting sketchy. His dark bullets are his go-to for defense right now. But he hasn't landed a hit on any of those knights yet. Nicholas is feeling more pumped, thinking the kid's only in the third circle. No way he's winning this. Dale's totally surrounded now. And the prayer noise is seriously bugging the dark entity, which is making her super annoyed. After telling them to zip it, the little kid's body morphed into a gnarly creature. But in no time, the knight's sword sliced through the tentacles. The first knight's ready to deliver a killer blow. Then he realized something's way off. The darkness had engulfed all those knights. Nicholas started to panic and asked what went down. What he saw next was nightmare fuel. Those dudes were getting corrupted by the dark vibes. The darkness is spreading, reshaping the knights' bodies. All thanks to that tiny entity. It's been ages since she caught a whiff of something like this. She's been waiting for years, savoring every moment, using her tentacles to soak up those bodies. Nicholas realized our protagonist isn't your average 11-year-old. Calling him a prodigy doesn't even cut it. This kid's got some serious dark vibes. Dale reminded him that their contract means they're not on the hook for what goes down here. Words picked by the priest himself, who's now begging for his life. Dale's curious about what this guy can offer to keep breathing. Nicholas offered him a power position, even control over the church's forces. As long as the protagonist names his price, the Cardinals got it. Our boy dug this guy's will to live, so he said he wants everything the dude's got. Seeing Nicholas hesitate, Dale said they'd need to redo the contract. And the Cardinal couldn't do squat about it. Since the battle wrapped up fast, the entity said it had a blast with the protagonist. It also liked his inner world, so it'll chill there for him. Looking at our boy, the entity asked if he's scared of it. Dale said nope, and he meant it. But our protagonist knows he can't just summon this thing willy-nilly. It's super dangerous, it's not a power he can fully control. Meanwhile, the entity's waiting for another round of fun. Dale promised it would happen soon, which made the entity happy. Slowly his inner world faded, and our boy was back in the library. As soon as he left that place, the Library of Doom, Dale got some redemption for his sins. And a sacred ceremony went down for this. Our protagonist's no longer a wanderer when he got home. With his power back, no one dared mess with his plans. Months later, life in the duchy is back to normal. Helmet's teaching Charlotte the sword game. The girl's leveling up her internal energy. Even managing to add some aura to her sword. Her achievement got all the knights hyped. Even the captain was impressed. She's super young to hit this level. The training sesh got cut short by the protagonist's arrival. He's got a favor to ask Charlotte. He wanted to know if she'd swear to be a loyal knight to the fam. Kneeling before the protagonist, Charlotte made the oath. Dale asked if she's down to protect the weak and smack down evil. The girl kept nodding through the oath, getting dubbed a knight. Right after the ceremony wrapped up, they were just chilling. Dale asked if Charlotte's really up for this, and she said she vibes with that fam and their sword skills are totally lit. Thanks to the training, she ditched the saber she used to rock. Switching up her style must have been tough, but Charlotte nailed it like a pro. Dale mentioned a bunch of orcs are gathering in the Demon King's old turf. They're being led by some beefy orc. Saxon's hopping on this military gig. Our dude wants Charlotte to roll with him too. This is gonna be her first gig as a knight. And she was all in, saying she wants to be the sword that backs up the hero. Words that made our dude super stoked. Saxon's huddling with his crew right now. They're clued in on the monster mob. The big worry is if this kicks off a new wave of barbarian chaos. The answer's a big yep, and it's got everyone on edge. When the hero helped the Empire in the war, folks thought peace was coming. But nope, loads of lords are getting called up for this military showdown. This is gonna be a massive battle like never before. Saxon's got something to drop on his son right now. It's time for him to learn to sling dark magic on the battlefield, like a real necromancer.